Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions. We're very excited to have you here, and we're especially excited to have you here on twitch.tv/JnJ Tabletop. It's good to see you. Obviously, some things have changed a little bit. We're still doing rare drop things. We just decided to do them here rather than there. So we're happy to have you here. And without further ado, let's get into the most wonderful band of adventurers and friends that I could ever ask for, and we're gonna have everyone introduce themselves. So Michael, I would like you to tell me who you are, who you play, and the worst food that Mac has ever tasted.
I'm Master Yoda. I am everywhere, and I play Mac, as was brought in. I don't know. That's a really tough one. I'm gonna say shrimp. He hates shrimp with a passion.
Okay.
He would rather not eat.
Wow, that
He'll
says a
starve for
lot.
another day.
That got intense.
He's very he is very intense about the things he cares about, and he cares about that. He's passionate about his hatred for shrimp.
Does it have anything to do with being a halfling?
Oh man, I was gonna.
No.
Okay, all right.
It's solely based on the flavor. And the first time, no one told him that he had to remove the tail, and it was real. It was almost a traumatic experience. We'll say that.
Fair enough. So continuing in dodge order, let's have Jake introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Jake. Apparently, this is what my family does. You're so hard to read. I just did it without thinking. I play Vael. There's a fun command in chat. Everybody's got their name except Josh because he's the DM. But I play Vael, the Elven Warlock Fighter. And what would be the thing he would probably not like? I have no idea because I feel like he likes most food.
That's a valid answer.
I'm having a hard time here.
That's okay.
I'm gonna say radishes because who really likes radishes? How about that? Who really does? It adds texture, but that's it. I don't know. Anyways, Izzy, why don't you go next?
Hi, I'm Izzy. I play Melly. I think the worst thing that Melly has eaten that she didn't like was probably prairie balls.
I don't know what that is.
You can look it up.
All right, perfect. I was going to ask you, do you want to give us
Snarky.
context or do you want to leave us in? Okay.
I'm Googling, my friends.
Sounds good. Prairie balls? All right. Evan, you want to go next?
Sure, and I'm not going to look up what prairie balls are. My name is Evan, or Evbo, and you can see my thing down there. You can find me there everywhere. I play Echo, the halfling monk, and my favorite character. I love him so much. The worst thing Echo has ever tasted, even though it shouldn't be, is, and I'm drawing on real life experience for this, but a family member of his, whenever he would go to visit, would always make what she would call this fancy food, which is just boiled chicken. It's just chicken that was boiled in a pot, and this was meant to be fancy. Sometimes, if you want to spice things up, put a little tomato sauce on it. It's not good.
Oh my.
Not that there's anything inherently bad about boiled chicken, but kinda, if there's nothing else involved.
I feel like there's nothing inherently good about it either.
It's just nothing.
It's only a half-life.
Skelly- So yeah, this pulls on a real thing that my grandma used to do. She would call it chicken parmesan, but she was from Newfoundland, which is basically Canada's Ireland. So she would boil chicken and then put like ragu on it. It was vile.
Newfoundland, which is Canada's Ireland.
I mean, it is.
I'm
That's
not
what it
saying you're
is.
wrong. I've just never heard that before.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh man, wow. Well, on that note, I am the real Josh T. I will be your DM tonight. As far as announcements go, unfortunately, the decision has been made to discontinue the actual podcast. So, if you used to watch like the audio only versions on Spotify or iTunes or like any of those or Apple Podcasts, whatever it's called, any of those places, it is being taken down. So I apologize to all of those people. Not really anything that we can do about it. That's what they wanted to do, so that's what's happening for that. There are ways to do audio only. So YouTube and Twitch both have audio only modes, so you can take advantage of that if you prefer that. Otherwise, you can catch up on old episodes up to episode 24, I think, on our YouTube channel. I think we have a couple more left to release before we get there to episode 24.
Yeah, something like that.
But they're all secretly already posted in the playlist, so that's why I say up to episode 24. Past that, they're already on Rare Drop Roleplay's YouTube channel. So that would be youtube.com/raredroproleplay. And ours, of course, are youtube.com/JnJ Tabletop. But however you're watching or listening, be sure to follow or subscribe or whatever applies to wherever you're listening from. Now, I've mentioned something a couple times. What I mentioned was JnJ Tabletop. You are here on twitch.tv/JnJ Tabletop, and you might be wondering, what is that? And for that, I will pass the question to Jay and Jake because it's in his name.
That's right. What's in my name? Say my name. It's Jay and Jake. So JnJ Tabletop is it's basically this wonderful community of people, but Josh and I started a YouTube channel that is designed to help you and your table get the most out of your D&D and TTRPG games by helping you unlock what works for you at your table. There's definitely more than one way to do this. People that are new at the game, experienced at the game, all walks of life, all sorts of things. We've got help for you, and that's what that is. We do new videos every week at youtube.com/JnJ Tabletop. Since we were last live, I think we released 2. We did the table talk with, we have Tommy from Math Productions, and we have John from Black Dragon RPG right now. It's because of his propensity to change his name. I think he's still John's Nerdy Reviews here on Twitch for like 38 more days or something like that. But either way, he's one of the coolest human beings you will ever meet. So if you find him anywhere, definitely like, subscribe, follow, donate. It's Josh looks like he wants to say something.
Just before you move on to the next point, I just want to mention that just a quick thing on Math Productions. The maps tonight are not from him, but most of the maps that I've used throughout this campaign are from Math Productions. Tommy's an awesome dude, and right now he's doing more of a focus on what was his side gig, which are the maps. Really, I can't recommend them enough. Honestly, like if you've enjoyed our game, if our game has meant anything to you, just go buy a couple maps from his website or buy a mini or something like that. Even I would say that even before subscribing to our channel on Twitch, just sub to his Patreon for a month or something like that, or X for a custom map because he'll make one for you. So we would really appreciate that because that helps him continue to do the awesome thing that he does, and we just can't say thank you enough to him for all the things that all the maps that he's provided to us. You know, he's not in our game, but he's a part of our game, and it wouldn't be the same without him. So if you could support him, that would be awesome. And I think if I type this little thing in chat here, yeah, you get his link. So it's mathproductions.com.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Back to you, Jake.
Thanks, Josh. The other video that we released in this time frame is we continued the Creating Iconic series, and we're talking about how to make Scarlet Witch or Wanda Maximoff in D&D 5e. It talks about what makes her special, so that's really cool. We like to do that. I think we've had a number of suggestions for our next one. I know Blue Dragon Baron mentioned potentially Cyclops, which I have an idea of that, but that could be a more of a cheeky video. And also, Nia mentioned Storm, and I think Thor, but we'll see where that goes. But upcoming, that's coming out on Wednesday, we've got a big video coming out. As the Brits would say, it's a banger. It is, we talk about how dungeon masters cheat and how it kind of erodes the game and really the effect that it can have. I know it might be seeming weird if the dungeon master can do anything that they want to. Is it really cheating? We talk about that. It's a pretty in-depth conversation, if I do say so myself. So, that being said, Josh, you got anything else you want to say about JnJ?
About JnJ?
Yeah.
No, nothing else I gotta say.
About JnJ?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lesson. Do we roll for it? How does this?
Oh, you want to roll? Okay, you want to
I
roll
don't
for
know.
initiative?
I thought you were gonna do the lesson, and
I
then
thought
you
it was
said
too,
you
and then
had
I
anything
just
else I wanna
goofed on the
say.
transition. There was no smoothness at all. I know I am known for being buttery smooth.
I think what we should do is have Evan do the lesson. I'm just kidding.
Ooh,
You don't have to.
All right, what's the lesson? Got it.
okay. Lies that dungeon masters tell themselves.
They're having fun. Next.
Oh, there you go.
Whoa.
Well, you know what? One of them that I wrote down is that nobody wants to play in a game that you DM. And I don't know if that's where you were going with that, but
No, I was just doing a bad joke, but no, please go ahead.
all right. Some dungeon masters also think that you have to know all the rules. All of the fun depends on you. Nothing could be further from the truth, and all of those things. There's more, but you have to go watch the video on our channel.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true. Yep.
Josh is not having fun.
Oh,
Confirmed. Oh my god.
Anyway, guys, if you're watching this and you see something and you're like, whoa, this is pretty cool, I really like this, well, you should definitely clip it so then we could see it and we could be like, oh, hey, they liked this, it was very cool. And then, maybe we missed it and maybe we'll watch it and be like, oh, I didn't see that, in sync, hands behind head that Jake and Michael did at the exact same time, or Izzy, doing this thing. There's always fun, silly moments that we miss, and sometimes things we don't miss, but we want to be able to relive. So if you see anything that you like, clip it, and you could also go to our Discord, and we have a little section for clips there, so you could share the link and then we'll laugh about it together. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Does anyone have anything else, anything special happening this week that needs to be mentioned before we carry on?
I do not.
No. Nothing. Hold on one second.
Holding.
Sorry, I had to blow my nose.
He's back. I appreciate the mute.
One thing I would like to mention is I'm very proud of Jake for saying that light coffee is the right coffee on Twitter.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
I saw that and I just smiled, and you don't always smile on what you see on Twitter, so.
Oh, that's true.
But without further ado, let's get into the things. So, last week on Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions, our group was tasked with hunting down a cult. They were trying to find an urn filled with the ashes of someone who had helped chain the Chained Oblivion. Now they tracked this cult down. They fought them, and after some exploring and interrogating and a cliff fall, whatever we want to call that, they found out that whatever the cultists were trying to do, they already at least started it. They already spoke to this cleric, found out where one of the chains were, and they're presumably heading there now. Melly had found a spot that was just filled with this horrible darkness, and she went over there with Vael and took a moment to kind of gather herself and seek some insight from... I don't think we've actually named him, but Morgan Freeman. We'll just call it what it is. So she spoke to him, and together, her and her spirit guide, Morgan Freeman, went and they cleansed this area, and it took a pretty strong toll. And Vael actually helped, and was momentarily blind, or temporarily blind because of it. The group decided that they needed to take care of whatever was happening with these cultists. They needed to stop them from doing what they were trying to do before they went back to town and returned the ashes to their home. So they continued on the road, and they moved forward. And with Melly leading the way, following the very large tracks left behind by at least one of the creatures in this group. Suddenly, seemingly out of nowhere, the sky went black, like darker than night sky. Almost as if a veil, if you will, had covered all of the lights. There was a loud crack of thunder as you all felt some sort of tremor, as if there was either the remnants of an earthquake or maybe just a very small earthquake, the kind that would... Basically, if you went on Twitter afterwards, you would see memes of chairs flipped over, like that kind, enough that's unsettling, but not enough to do any damage. So, as this is happening, Vael drops to the ground, drops to one knee as he feels his energy just being sapped from him. And begins to feel weak. Jake, can you make a Constitution saving throw for me?
Always great to start off your session with the con save. Okay.
You're proficient at those.
Yeah, he's pretty good at him. Okay. 15.
15?
Yes, sir.
Alright. So for a 15, you will only take one level of exhaustion.
Okay.
So the sky is dark. All around you is dark. And you see far off in the distance this purplish lightning over an area. And still these cracks of thunder. There's no rain or anything like that. But there's just something eerie and horrible and not good about what's going on. Vael, as this is happening, and as you're feeling this feeling, What is going on in your head? What are you thinking? What are you doing?
I believe you said Vael kind of dropped to one knee, so I'm fine with that. I think he's kind of. I almost imagine for some reason like he feels like he's got a headache, like a bad migraine or something like that, and he just kind of goes, "Argh!" And he starts rubbing his temples. His mind is probably more blank in this moment than he wants it to be.
Okay.
But I think he's wondering, like, could it be? I don't think he's actually thinking it's his patron because he's in the middle of carrying out the task that was given. I think he's definitely wondering if it was when he touched the dark, dirty crack. Sometimes it's not a good thing to do. Just saying. But that's something he's wondering about.
Oftentimes. Okay. All right. So there's a solid like 10 or 15 seconds that this darkness stays there. And it begins to fade for the most part. It's still it's almost as if like it became more condensed, right? So you see where it was like this sheet across the whole sky begins to just kind of come in and get smaller and smaller until it's off in the distance and you can't really see it, but you do see the purple bolts of lightning way off. Vael, you're not like struck to your knees anymore, but you definitely feel drained.
Okay, I think after that, just whatever that first wave hits, he stands up. Just like he's just kind of rubbing his temples, like.
Would anyone have said or done anything when the lights turned off?
I mean, we were all right here and close together, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I figure you're like 10, but between 5 and 15 feet away from each other, I would say. Unless you think you'd travel farther apart, which is totally fine.
No, I think that's probably maybe even closer than that. But yeah, that
That's fine.
sounds. Are you all right? What happened?
No, my feels when that clap of thunder, or whatever it was, I feel tired. Like energy was drained out of me or something. I think he kind of is looking at the three of you to see if you have any similar effect, but I imagine you're all just kind of looking at him like.
I didn't feel anything, I mean, other than the fact that it was loud.
I
And
think
we
I'm
all
fine.
saw
Anyone
that
else?
exactly as it was, right? It wasn't just limited to Vael.
Yeah, no, you all saw that. I just gave Vael the spotlight because he was the one who was affected.
No, just making sure.
Mhm.
Are we too late? They couldn't have got there that quickly, could they?
Would happen to know how many chains there are? Would you?
Probably. Maybe not.
I don't think you would. That's kind of guarded information. Like unless you studied this like specifically, I don't think you would. If you have studied it specifically, then that's fine. I'll have you roll for it. But
Probably not. Like unless it was something that was part of like, and now thanks to the 7 chains of
no, it's
Jefferson.
always kind of just referred to as the chains.
Okay. I don't know.
Josh, you said it was still daytime, right? I mean, it's getting later, obviously, but
Getting later,
yeah.
but it is still daytime. I mean, it's probably like 5 or 6 o'clock. Like you're getting close to, or we'll call it like 5 o'clock. You're getting close to sundown for winter time, but sunset has not happened yet.
Do you think you're good to still continue?
Yeah, I'm a little tired. I don't think I should take point or anything, but I think I'm fine.
Shen, did you say the darkness resolved, or is it still pretty dark?
So you are able to see in this area, it resolved, but you were able to kind of watch it be like peeled back, and you still see there's something off to the distance, with the lightning still cracking underneath it. But as far as where you're at, it's gone.
Maybe it's possible that was just the start of it. Well, if you're sure you're okay to continue on, maybe we should move a little quicker.
Actually struggled. You asking if he wants to move closer? Is that what you said?
Move a little quicker.
Yeah, quicker.
Oh. Yes, of course. I'll follow. I'll follow. I'm good.
So as long as everyone's in agreement, gonna take off in the direction. I don't know if it's still directly in front of us or if it was slightly off to one side, but whichever direction, it seemed like the darkness was peeling back towards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get the sense it's kind of in the direction that it seems like it's in the same direction that the treks were heading in. One thing I will say, just as DM favor and spoon feeding, as we used to call it. If what's happening is that they're trying to break a chain, that's a huge deal that probably a good amount of people would be involved in. And I think that anyone of you who has any experience with organizations or anything military like or anything like that would know. So continue on. Just wanted to make sure that that thought was out there.
I had it in my head already.
I had a feeling. All right.
Do you think we need to just get some information if we can? I don't know if we're in the right situation to... Let's get more information before we decide to do anything first.
How?
Well,
We've got very capable scouts.
remember when I said some of the things this dagger can do? I can turn into a couple of the people that we killed, and I actually took some clothing and one of the archer's bows just so I could blend in if needed.
Right.
So I could probably go in and scout, hopefully non arousing any suspicions. But at the same time, I still don't even know how far we still have to go.
We should probably continue on then. At least until we have some sort of idea.
I agree. Maybe there'll be some kind of place to rest, unless you think this is a good spot to do that, and then any information we gather now could be different tomorrow if we're going to rest. Perhaps it is wiser to only risk one information excursion.
I think that would probably be the safest option. Once we find whatever camp they have.
All right. I can just see you guys, like, I'll follow you.
And I think Melly is leading the way, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, she'll continue to lead away the way.
How do you proceed forward? Do you want to move like quickly, stealthily, normally? What would you like?
Assuming we want to be quick but quiet as well. I know that doesn't really go hand in hand.
That's all right. So let's say make a survival check with advantage because of everything.
These are no good poopy rolls. That's gonna be a 10.
10?
Yep.
Alright. So if a 10, I'm gonna say you travel for another like hour and a half, and you kind of I mean you could tell you could tell that you're getting closer and closer to this kind of looming dark. It's like a almost like a storm cloud over this area. With this, as you get closer, you can really get like a good view of it. It's like this lightning style effect it's never hitting the ground. It's only just kind of like zipping above, as best you could tell. And yeah, I mean, you're close. I'd say based on how far away what you could see like in the air, how far away that is, and just your knowledge of like traveling and all that sort of things, you're probably like 20 minutes away on foot, unless you're moving like super quick. But so I don't know. I guess if
Is that something we all know?
Melly definitely knows it, because she's actively tracking and paying attention to where she's going. Anyone else who would be doing that can roll for it. Because like just
Melly will-
because she's
Melly will turn around to the guys. We're about 20 minutes away. I don't know if we want to continue at the same pace or try to be a little bit quieter.
I sort of suspect perhaps we should find a spot that's out of the way and maybe rest for the evening. And if we are rested, we get an early night, perhaps an early morning could catch them off guard. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. How are you doing, Melly? Do you feel like you have your magic back?
Well, I definitely feel rested, but not up to my full capability. I would definitely need a night's rest. I think my concern is if we're assuming that the chain is already broken, then it would make sense to stop where we are and rest. But if they're in the process of it, I know we're not all 100%, but they probably won't stop to rest if they're in the middle of the ritual.
It's a fair point. I think Vael just looks at Max since he brought up the disguise idea.
You want me to try to go in and see what I can learn tonight?
I'm only worried that if you learn something, then it might be different in the morning. But I think there's merit.
I mean, I would
To
learn
either.
approximately how many people and what kind of
Sure.
fortifications and things they either do or don't have. Obviously, placement would change with that much time going by, but
Sure. I don't like the idea of you going alone. I can change my appearance.
Is
Or
there
I
a
can
way
send Aula.
to? Is there a way to change my appearance?
Josh, I could cast Disguise Self into the ring, right?
sure, why not?
I could put that magic in the ring. We'd have to remove something. But I could just go and we could keep
Currently-
it there.
Currently, the ring has hex. What is it? Hex.
Healing word.
Absorb elements and healing word.
Revivify, Hex.
Revivify.
and
Oh,
healing word.
revivify. That's right. Hex,
Yeah.
revivify, healing word.
I know I'm a little tired, but I'm still me. Smile.
You're still you, but you're tired. A mistake here could be problematic.
yeah, and
It's a fair
I mean,
point.
I hate to say this, but if we have to run, I point over to Echo. He can keep up with me.
I would never argue against that. It
And
was
if
just
things
thought.
went sideways, we would need to get out of there quick.
Well,
It might just be sufficient enough to send Aula Just so we can know what we could potentially be stepping into in the morning.
Could do that too.
We can always go in after Aula if we're unsatisfied with the information that we obtain.
Sure.
And is this area like a woodsy-ish area? To where, like, an owl would seem very in place and in character for...
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be out of place for a wildlife to be to be in this area.
Like when he says that he wants to know, are all the owls in this area extinct? Because then that would raise a red flag.
Are all the owls in this area extinct?
Yeah, because then it doesn't make sense to see one.
I mean, I guess that would depend on
Have we noticed other owls in the area on this trip?
Right. Never mind.
You've heard the sounds of other owls in the area. I mean, I think Aula or Isla. I'm just referring to her as Aula now because she's been an owl for so long. I think Isla didn't you make her like specifically a snow owl to look?
Yeah.
Okay.
To blend in, so that might not blend in here.
But it's not going to blend in as well. It's definitely going to be more out of place than in the Fotkit Alps. But I mean, it's not beyond the realm of possibilities for an owl like that to be in a place like this, being that the Dunrock Mountains are so close.
I mean, I doubt it would put them on that much higher of alert than they probably already are if for some reason they did kill it.
So let's send her in. We'll see what happens.
And see if that gives us enough info, or if we need to actually physically go in tonight.
Yes, I think that's good. So yeah, tell Isla to get on going.
All right. So you send Isla in, and so no troops on the ground, just Isla right now. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm understanding it exactly as it is. So, Isla flies out, and what is it? 100 feet. She can communicate with you. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she'll be out of range for this.
Yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't expect to hear from her for at least another 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Assuming
that.
she travels twice as fast as you guys, which is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I just give her instructions to just find an out-of-the-way perch, see if she can see anything, wait like a minute or two, and come back.
Okay. Okay.
And try to remain hidden.
Sure. So in the meantime, is there anything that you all do? Like, do you just wait for her to come back? Do you move a little bit closer? Do you set up camp? Is there anything else?
I would say go a little bit off whatever path we were on. Oh, like maybe just a couple minutes off of that, and then start setting up a camp of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Just so if anyone else is following those tracks and whatnot, they're not going to run straight into us.
Sure. Yeah, you could definitely do that. And then, and you said, and start setting up a camp of sorts.
Yes.
Um,
Even though with how close we are, and unless somebody else is doing it, I probably wouldn't be starting a fire. Just maybe kind of like putting stuff down and whatnot.
I don't want to do it so that one of the halflings can tell me to put it out.
Put it out, you fools!
Oh, that's nice. Ash and my tomatoes.
Okay. So for the kind of camp that you're working on, is you trying to make it like a super sneaky style camp?
Yes, I would say to where if like make it to where as like people get as close as possible and not realize, like trying to make it where they could trip over one of us sleeping at night.
Sure. So let's
It's
have
hardly even as much a camp as it is like our stuff just kind of being mostly put down beside
In
things,
an
right?
area and like kind of like pushing brush up against it so it kind of like covers it just a little bit.
sure.
Mhm.
So let's have Melly roll survival and Mac roll stealth.
That is a 27 for stealth.
Oh, rogues.
An 8. Yeah. Just
Okay.
gonna go ahead and do this and just shake him up.
Alright, no problem. So, yeah, Mac doesn't even have the reliable talent yet. Rogues are like, when it comes to skills, there's no one better. Well, I guess bards come close, but rogues are still number one.
Ellie's sitting there in her orange hunting vest right now.
This looks good, right?
I think maybe Melly was the one who tried to start the fire. Like his. So, I think what happens is it takes a little bit longer than you had thought to find the right brush and everything, but you know, with the 27, I'd say that averages out to a success. You feel like you have a pretty nice little spot where it's kind of comfortable, and you know, like you would feel, if you had to sleep here, you would feel as safe as you possibly could sleeping there. Now, is there anything else you would like to do before Isla returns with information?
Nothing that impacts anything. But Echo's doing some he's practicing his positions again, his, you know, like stance movements, but this time with his staff.
Yeah.
And anyone who's nearby, Melly would probably catch it. Just, it might have caught her ear specifically because he's chanting as he's doing his like movements this time in Celestial. Like we had mentioned a long time ago, like he has some rudimentary Celestial because of like almost like speaking Latin in like the Catholic Church, like that kind of thing. You just know a few phrases. But he's finishing each phrase with a certain level of ferocity that seems odd, as he's, you know, like completing like the swing or moving into the next move. Almost like he's putting more into it than normal. Like it's less about the form and more about how much strength he's putting into it.
Hmm. I think Vael would actually... He'd be studying his notes. I think he'd start looking at things that he found from the Archmage's thing again, from when they were in Malaeus Mere.
Okay. Roll me a d20.
Is this a skill check?
It is a skill check. I was gonna say investigation.
Okay, because I have disadvantage at
there's
that right now.
Yeah, unless there's something else you think makes sense.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Disadvantage. 5 plus 3 for an 8.
For an 8? Okay.
Yeah.
Eventually, these are gonna add up. And
I had
we're
a
gonna
feeling
have
that's what you were doing.
conversation.
There's also not a lot of time, potentially, for his studies, but he's just reading.
Mac is just polishing his dagger.
Sorry about that. Okay. So, let's see. Find familiar.
I have owl stats if you need to know anything.
All right. So, if Isla, you said she wanted to find like a perch, right?
If possible, to find a perch that's kind of out of the way with a
Mhm.
vantage point on anything that's significant. So it's really a judgment call for her.
If she could not find such a perch, what do you think she would do?
Maybe just a circle or two. I don't know much about owl behavior, but anything that might look natural to kind of be around.
Sure.
And then just come back. Like if it was, I would want her to be safe. I think above
Okay.
anything else.
Okay. So next time, if you could do some research on owl behavior, that would be great.
That'd be good, right? Probably should.
No, I'm kidding, obviously. Let's see. Owl. Next. Roll me a d20, Mr. Jacoby.
Okay. 18.
Okay. All right. Okay, so she, after, I don't know, like 25 minutes or so, something like that, she returns and basically she shows you this area, and it's like a road that, more like a path that was overcome with brush, and it just kind of looks like enough people moved through it and kind of like chopped their way through it, that you can see that there was once a path there. There's a small stream with a broken bridge over it, and this large like spire of just kind of like made of like rock, with a path around it going up it. She shows you this kind of black inky cloud above the area, lightning coming off of it and just kind of like almost just like flashing like above it. And then as she tried to go around and get like a complete view of it, you almost see like a vision of like the lightning kind of like reaching out to her and trying to grab her or zap her as she got too close, but she just kind of maneuvered out of the way and came right back.
Man, okay.
As for like how many she saw, I would say like 9 or 10 plus, and one of them was an ogre.
Okay. So kind of imagine Isla maybe lands maybe on his knee. I just picture Vael kind of up against the tree reading, and she lands, and they're just like looking at each other, communicating this. And then to the best of his ability, Vael uses, because this is apparently what Minor Illusion does, tries to show everybody what she saw and communicated everything that Josh just said. Kind of get the sense that infiltrating that stealthily could prove difficult with that winding of a path.
So we may have to take the more subtle approach. If we take an approach at all.
I mean, that's definitely a lot to go against. And ogres are no slouches either. Ugh.
They're not. We did fight an ogre, if I remember correctly, Josh, when we were in the Savalier Wood with the goblins, right?
Yeah, with a bunch of tabaxi.
Yeah.
That was wasn't your first time meeting Rain, but it was your first like real conversation with Rain.
Mm-hmm.
We've dealt with ogres before.
Yep. Not necessarily worried about an ogre. I'm just wondering if there is something more subtle we can do, like a distraction or some kind of multi-directional approach. I don't know.
Well, there is another thing I can do with my dagger. I can do what's called hallucinatory terrain, where I could possibly make them think something is happening on this mountain. Now, I don't know exactly where we would want to do it, or, we could possibly use it to maybe separate some of them, and if they don't realize it's not real, we could get some of them while the other ones are on the other side, like thinking they're behind a rock slide or something of that nature. I don't know if it would work, but it is an option.
I really like the sound of that. Again, I think the morning may be better.
I just hope we have that kind of time. But to your point, and like I said earlier, a mistake now. Probably best to get some rest. I can't shake this feeling. It's fine.
What's on your mind?
Came here for answers. You know? Came here for... Well, I came here for hope's sake. Master Dinawa would know what to do. The people, my friends at the monastery, would have some idea of what to do, but now I don't know who I can trust anymore. So, part of me wants to go get help or something, but you're the only people I can really trust right now. I'm sorry, that may have come out. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about it a lot. We should really get some rest.
All right. What do you think Master Dino would want to do right now? Because he trained you, and I imagine you've learned a thing or two. And clearly you have.
I think he would... It's hard to say. But I don't think he would go in swinging. Let's try the subtle approach and see if anything else gets some light come the morning.
I'm not sure what you mean by subtle approach.
I'm not sure what I mean by subtle approach.
I mean, I guess we could act like we just saw the storm clouds above it and we're just going to investigate, but
I think that's scouting in disguise with some sort of support, whether it be myself or Vael or Melly, somehow staying close by without being seen.
Ash, do I have an idea how tall the cropping is from top to bottom? More
Like-
or less.
Massively tall.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very tall.
so we wouldn't want to free climb it.
I mean, hey, I've seen you jump off of a cliff before, so you. So I'll put it this way: tall enough where there were multiple trees around it, and Isla was not able to find a perch on any of those trees and see even halfway up it.
Okay. Perhaps a good night's sleep will do the trick.
And then we went to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's anything else you guys want to do.
All right. So y'all go to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Promise? No, I'm just
I
kidding.
mean, Vael does his trance.
I mean, Mac has his sleep cap on, so he's sleeping.
Canon.
Perfect. Let's, I guess at this point, yeah, let's take a quick break. As the group decides to rest, we too shall take a quick rest. So if anyone has any questions or anything like that, just throw them in chat and we will answer those as soon as we return. Otherwise, we'll see y'all in a little bit.
Yep. And I think I'm just gonna run some ads while we're on a break, but that's it.
My.
Yeah. You're not gonna miss anything. Promise.
Well, we'll see y'all in a little bit. Everybody's taking a little rest. As the night goes on, let's see. I'd say you don't sleep that well. Nobody really gets great sleep. Vael, you hear it the most because you're not really sleeping. But as it gets darker and further into the night, probably in like the 1:30, 2 a.m. Area, you hear these like cracks of thunder here and there, and these like painful, tortured screams coming from that area. And they kind of continue through the night. And it's not like you're right, and it's not like they're so loud that you're right next to them, but you hear it. You know, something's going on there, and it's not great. So yeah, I mean, do with that information what you will. How long is was it 4 hours? Is that what your what your thing gives you? Yeah.
It's 4 hours, yes.
4 hours?
Actually, by like 2, I feel like Vael might be done.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So pretty much when you're done, that's when that really kicks in and you really start to hear that, and it's like something is something very bad is happening over there.
Are the others awake? I mean, it sounds like it would be loud enough that might be the case.
I think it's fair to say that while it might not be something that like wakes you up completely and you can't go back to sleep, like everyone at least has a moment where they like kind of wake up and hear that, and whether they just go back to sleep or like whatever is up to them, but everyone definitely hears it.
I feel like if it starts to get really bad, Vael would stand up and just... As soon as he like sees somebody kind of being awake, he I think he's gonna send Isla to go look again.
Okay.
Yeah. To anybody that's paying attention, I think he's also... I'm going to move a little closer and just see if Isla can find something. I feel like... That doesn't sound good.
Okay. So, yeah, so Isla will go and do her thing, and, you know, like I said last time, like you might have learned last time, whole trip is probably going to take her like 20-25 minutes, something like that. So unless you're kind of going in slowly behind her so that she could just communicate with you in real time, you don't expect to hear back from her for another 20 minutes minimum. did mention.
You're
I'm
muted.
sorry, you're muted, Jake.
Sorry. He's gonna follow for at least 5 minutes. I don't know if Devil's Sight will come into play because he doesn't have any difference between darkness and light.
That's a loaded statement.
Fair enough, but it's very Vael. See if he can hear anything or see anything that's different than it was.
So I guess what do you mean by hear or see anything that's different than it was?
Just like being closer, like if it's anything, like can he hear any details in it? Like you said at first, we can't. So he's that kind of a thing.
No specific details. You follow for 5 minutes?
Yeah, knowing Vael, if there was nothing different, he probably would keep drifting for another 5.
Okay, all right. So 10 minutes then.
Fair enough.
Okay, all right. So, as you get closer, you hear that like some of the like rumblings that you were hearing from far away now kind of sound like rhythmic drumming.
Okay. And do I hear any of the screams? Like, does it sound like painful
Yeah.
screams? Does it sound like
No,
is someone
it
in pain,
sounds-
or they're just like screaming and they're like just loud?
It's like some sort of like otherworldly, like painful scream.
Vail's gonna keep going a little bit. Just to get a little more clarity. But he has sent Isla ahead.
Yes, you have sent Isla ahead. It's 100 feet, right? I know I asked you this earlier. 100 feet. Okay. Yeah.
If
I
there's
guess-
any point though where it feels like he doesn't have the cover of like forest or anything like that, he'll stop.
Okay. All right. I guess before we get too far into this, were you trying to be like quiet and not wake anyone up when you left?
No, actually the opposite.
Okay. So I don't know. Does anyone want? If someone noticed that Vael was getting up and going into the woods, would you have said anything? First question.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say that you noticed that.
Echo would probably. I don't know who. I don't know like where everybody was, arrangement wise. You know what? Let's see who he made eye contact with first. Is Mac also like Mac would have woke up, I assume, from.
Mac did, but he would have acted like he didn't see it or not acknowledged it at all and just let Vail do his thing.
Oh, okay. So then, that being the case, Echo would make eye contact with Melly, I assume. And he would say, you hear that, right?
Yes. sounds like they're, I guess, getting further along in whatever it is that they're doing.
I think so too. Looks like Vael's starting to head over that way. I don't know if he's scouting or what, but I think Isla went ahead of him. I feel like I should go make sure he's okay.
We have no way of communicating between all of us. uh, he definitely shouldn't go alone, though. If you feel well enough to go with him.
I'll be fine. I promise.
Okay, I don't know. If something happens, please, I'll stay awake and...
I'll figure something out. And he'll walk over to Melly and just put a hand on her shoulder and say, we'll be fine. And he'll smile. As genuine a smile as he can force, I think, is probably the best way to put it.
So, before we continue, I see that someone posted in chat, poor Melly, she just wants her spell slots back. Is that what's holding you back, Izzy? Is that what's holding Melly back? Or is that or is it, I don't know, is there something else?
Being able to do everything she could do would definitely be helpful.
Okay.
But I know she didn't get a full rest, so...
That's okay.
That's mainly what's holding Mac back, just so you know. Like, even though it doesn't necessarily affect him as much as what rogues have, he just wants everyone else to get a full night's rest for the coming onslaught tomorrow.
Actually, does Vael still have exhaustion? I know normally it does, but I don't know if this is special.
What? Anyone, everyone roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh. Okay. That's not as good as the last one. That's a 12.
That's a 21.
18.
16, but let me look at my thingy. Did I use that yet? I think I did use it.
Favored,
But I think
yeah.
I definitely forgot to check it off. So yeah, 16. That's what she got. Here we go.
Okay, so if you wanted to, everyone could take the benefit of a long rest. Everyone passed the con save, so I'm gonna say no one has exhaustion. It's just you're not gonna be able to go at it for as long as you would have. I mean, it's like, it's like real life, You get 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and then you're like, yeah, I think I'm good for like the first 5 hours of the day, and then you're like, okay, yeah, I wish I would have slept more. But...
Yeah. So I have to admit, I was trying to let them know that I was scouting. So if this just got out of whack from that, then I apologize. But my intentions was to make that much more known, I think, and it seems to be playing out. He's definitely going farther than he was probably normally would have, but he wasn't hiding anything.
Echo would have still followed. That doesn't really change anything for him except for the intent. As opposed to I need to make sure he's fine. Like he might be in danger right now. It's more like, I'm going to make sure there isn't a problem. Like that there won't be a problem.
So regardless of how it was presented, you let him go first and then followed a couple minutes after, or you went with him immediately?
I think it probably would have been played out similarly where, Vael kind of started going and he's like, okay, and then kind of had a moment of I I got a bad feeling about, like, after hearing all the sounds coming out of this and everything, he's just like, I can't let him go by himself.
Yeah.
So slight change in the conversation, but not too dissimilar.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Yep. If they're just going to scout, they're definitely coming. But see, Melly doesn't trust them to come back and not already be in. Not that like the. Oh golly! All right. Yep. She'll stay. She's gonna stay.
As he's walking away, he does lift up his left hand and wiggle the ring finger, just to remind her that he does have something.
Okay. And how far away? Like DM, how far away are they at this exact moment? When, just out of curiosity, just curious. Are they like within 30 feet?
I would say no. They're not within 30 feet.
All right. Melly's just gonna sigh. She'll sit up and she's just gonna be listening and watching, like hyper cute. Probably, actually, she might just close her eyes so she can listen because it's dark out. Although she can see it. She's got dark vision.
Okay. All right, so Melly and Mac are hanging back, and Echo and Vael have pressed forward. So, you continue on, and Vael, I think we said you're like halfway there, 10 minutes into the 20-minute journey, right?
Yeah, I think in this point, if it seemed like there was no real immediate change in his ability to stay hidden while learning information, he would continue. Otherwise, he would stop.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you roll stealth for me? And like Echo, are you at this point just like you're with him?
If that's, you know,
You are faster
if I'm
than
able
I
to
am.
have caught up with him, then yes.
If your intent was to catch up with them, I'd say you're able to catch up with them because Vael was, I feel like, kind of moving slower and listening and
Definitely.
that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say as he approached Vael, he would start, like, you know, moving with a little more caution. But his initial intent was to catch up.
Vael, you hear something behind you.
Vael! It's Echo from work!
Oh my god.
I think he just turns and nods his head and just kind of just touches his ear like, listen, you know.
Yep. Echo nods and tries to move as stealthily as Vael.
Yeah.
Right.
So you said stealth check, right?
Yes, both give me stealth checks. And
You got it.
Vael, I will say, while you don't have that exhaustion anymore, you do still feel drained.
Okay, so like mechanically nothing there, but there's just that.
So exhaustion, nothing there, but you definitely
roll?
feel a little
Okay.
off.
All right. Well, I'll just say this: I rolled a 14, and I have a +7 to stealth, so I would think that's a 21. But if there's something else going on there,
That's
okay.
fine.
Okay.
I had a 22.
Very nice. Yeah. So you both feel very well hidden as you travel through. is a lot. He's more restless than he was in the first half of the stream.
Fair enough.
We'll say that. No. No. He's just, I'm sorry, he's just standing right there looking at me. I know something. There it is. Okay. I'm just gonna let him say hi and then I'm gonna kick him out just because he's this close. Come on, Pop. What are you doing? What are you doing? No? Alright, get out. Get out of here, Destro.
Get out of here. Get out of here, you. We don't want your kind. That's not true. I'm a dog person. He just wants some mambas. That's all. Oh no. Indy left that day. They named the dog Indiana.
Very curious to know how long you guys have been gone for.
I think it's been about 12 to 15 minutes, I would guess.
Yeah, it's
That
only a
is a
20-minute walk.
Hmm.
Yeah. And that's exactly how long it's been. I'm sorry about that. Andy was... I knew he was planning something, so I was like, let me see if I could at least get him to jump up on me so you could see him on camera. And then he didn't do that. He just went right for his plan, which is
We got
to try
some
to steal my
ears.
candy.
Well, yeah. That's usually, that checks out.
Okay, so your plan was to kind of sneak along and try to just get more information.
That's it. That just sounded really dark and awful, and if there was something that was happening, I wanted to know.
Okay. So, let's see. I would say, I mean, from this distance, you could see the I'm just gonna call it the spire. You could see the spire, and there's this dark cloud just resonating over it, almost like swirling now, whereas what it looked like from farther away and even from Isla's description of it, it was more like set in place. But now it's there's movement and it's just it's more like disrupted, and you continue just hearing these just this rhythmic drumming, hearing these shouts of pain, and I mean, you're not. Do you try to get like closer, or do you just like at this point are you like, well, I could see it, can't make out details super well because it's kind of far, like.
I think for Vael, it just matters as to how risky of getting closer is. So,
I mean, like, unless you try to like get on the thing, getting closer, you still have cover, but there's always more opportunity for if you trip and like fall into
yeah.
a twig or a pile of leaves or like whatever, like
Yeah.
it, 5 minutes ago no one would hear it. 5 minutes forward, someone hears it,
Sure. I don't know if Vael and Echo are kind of right on top of each other, but I think you would just look to make eye contact with him and see. Just see his read of things if he can.
What you gather, Echo is more so trying to like have your back than he is trying to do the scouting. So where you might be like trying to like get a look at the spire and kind of get a read on it, he's like head on a swivel, like looking in every other direction, looking for maybe like patrol, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe there's
Okay.
like some folks on horseback or something guarding the area. That's what he's trying to keep an eye out on.
Okay.
Alright.
I don't think he'll press forward anymore at this point.
Okay. So you look up and you see Isla kind of moving, trying to give you like that you know, that bird's eye view and like all the recon and that kind of thing. And a bolt of lightning swooshes out from, or just shoots out from under this dark cloud. Roll a dex save for Isla.
Oh no. My baby girl. It is a dirty 18.
So 20?
I'm sorry. No, it's just 17 plus 1.
Okay, 17. Oh, dirty 18. Yeah, not natural 18. Hold on. I mean,
She only has 1 hit point. So
yeah,
I don't know if it matters.
I don't need to roll for it.
Yeah.
She just kind of poofs, and there are ashes that you know, kind of. I don't know. I mean, what does it look like when a spectral creature ceases to exist?
I mean, she is physically there, so
Well,
not anymore.
yeah, no, as this bolt of lightning strikes her, you know, where she was kind of flying and circling, she just slowly, you know, you see her form start to fall, and then just kind of there's like a little poof of light or dark or something.
Yeah. I
As she
think Vael's
disappears.
eyes go wide. And then his head just bows.
A watch is ended.
Echo puts his hand on Vael's back. Give him a little pat.
Believe it or not, she'll be alright. I really don't like seeing that.
No. Magic or not, she's a friend.
We should go back, I think.
That is something that the others should know about.
Yes, you're right. Thank you for coming.
And then we went back. No, of course. If that's the least of the danger we are going to be looking at, well, you're welcome.
I think he just gives you a sad smile and a nod and just heads off with you.
Melly, what were you doing while they were gone? Did you go back to sleep?
No. Melly was awake. And after a little while, if she couldn't hear any like discerning, like if it was still just like the same sounds, she would have just been staring at Mac to see if he was awake. And if Mac at any point opened his eyes, she'd be like, Mac, do you think they're okay?
I think they're fine. I think if they actually got into any kind of a fight, they would make enough noise to where we could hear them.
Just worried because the storm is so loud.
I'm sure they're fine.
Okay. So
I
after that
trust-
oh,
I trust Vael, and Echo is there to help as well. They would send up some kind of sign if there was some sort of trouble.
that is an excellent point. And they're both very capable. I'm just not going to be able to get any rest until they come back.
Suddenly, a rustling in the bushes as Echo and Vael come back.
Rustle, rustle, rustle.
Sacred flame. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, God.
Mac actually, when you hear the rustling, he looks at Melly because he knows that Melly can see well in the dark to see if she panics, to see if he needs to panic or not. But he has a dagger in his hand, just ready to go.
How do you guys approach the camp?
Literally just
Walking
walk
in
up.
there.
Yeah.
Like that, okay. Hey guys. Vael and Echo here with another YouTube video. No, so-
Don't forget to smash that like button.
Oh man.
I would watch that channel.
So, what do you do as you return? Do you share information? Do you plan? Do you go back to sleep? What's up?
Yeah, I tell him what happened, what the kinds of things we saw, and then what happened to Isla. I think as soon as we're ready, we should go in, do something, figure it out. But only if your strength is back. And he's looking at Millie.
Well, I may need to rest again later in the day, a little bit sooner than I would need to, but I think I could go on now. I'm very sorry about Isla.
I would never say that that's enjoyable to see, but I can bring her back. Need the right ingredients. But thank you. Are you up for things, Mac?
Oh yeah.
Silly question, huh?
Well, I'm just not sure exactly how we're approaching this.
I'm definitely sturdier than an owl, but probably not much.
I would not like to test that theory, Echo. I say we just get closer and potentially approach from two different sides. You can make the terrain look different. How does that, do you have any ideas there?
I mean, other than possibly making it look like part of the cliff is collapsing, or, doing some sort of like landslide onto part of the path to block and obscure their vision as to what may be going on, like if we do start to get into a fight. And if it's not all of them, like to stop reinforcements from coming, or at least slow them down. Mind you, it is just a hallucination. It doesn't actually... I can't actually collapse the side of the cliff.
Can't you make it appear as if the cliff is larger than it actually is?
Yes. Yes, I could.
Just kind of looks at you like, do you smell what I'm stepping in?
I'm not sure how exactly we would make that work for us, but... I mean, we could definitely... I don't know.
Perhaps we just approach. Maybe something will happen or something will present itself when we get there.
Kind of what I was thinking.
As a reminder, just so you know ahead of time, if you don't know already, hallucinatory. That spell has a casting time of 10 minutes, just so you're aware. So.
Oh no,
okay.
I was not. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, no problem. So like you can still set it up, but just like it's not going to be something you're going to be able to do in the middle of combat. So.
Right. Oh no, good call on that.
No problem. I didn't want you to base all your plans around it, and then not that much of a jerk as a DM. Like, you can still do it beforehand, before combat. It's just, and that's if you get into combat.
And it's not dawn yet, correct?
Sorry, about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just go get closer and see what's up. Right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you're able to continue through the woods, and you hear all those same sounds. As you get very close, you hear the drumming and almost like maybe the chanting as well, faint. And as you get like really close, I mean, if you continue really close, but first of all, I guess roll stealth checks, everyone.
Very thankful for a +7, so I have a 13.
Okay.
14.
25.
Keep one-upping me. Yeah, there, that checks out.
The plus 9 just makes almost any roll a good roll.
Yeah.
You never know if the delay with Izzy is just double checking the character sheet or if there was a really bad roll.
I know, I'm nervous too.
Oh, it's terrible. Total of 4.
Total of 4. What did you roll?
2
Okay.
plus 2.
All right. So we had a 4, and Michael, what'd you get?
25.
Okay. Jake.
I had 13.
14.
Okay. I mean, I'd say this time that equates to like Melly about to step on a really nasty twig or something like that, or just like about to trip into something, and Mac is like, whoa, 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 and, and kind of stops you. But if everybody has Fantasy Grounds open, I just shared a little map, and you can pull it up. And we'll show off a new Vael token. Like, kind of new. I mean, you've seen the picture before, but never as a token.
Yes.
A new Melly token. Also, you've seen the picture before, but not as a token. And then our same old tried and true
Same
Mac
old.
and Echo.
Wow.
Hey, I said tried and true.
Listen, if Mac heard that, he would take no offense and not care in the slightest.
I know he would.
Honestly,
We can
that's
pull
part of what he was doing before he was falling asleep. He was kind of like getting some sand and rubbing it on his new armor to kind of like buff it down just a little bit so it wasn't as like new and shiny and whatnot, and adding some worn to it.
I like it. Making his own little ghillie suit type thing, you know. Getting some of the local brush and making sure the colors match up. I like it.
We give a little shout out to the artist who did Vael and Melly's new artwork. Dodges and Daisies. Love them. Can't live without them.
That's my
Absolutely
wife.
beautiful work.
I think they might not like halflings though. I'm seeing a trend here. No.
Oh, we might
It's a
be able to
joke.
talk.
It's a
We might be
joke.
able to talk. All right. So this is what we see here, huh? We see a person and an ogre beyond there.
Yeah, I mean, right up front, there are some cultists visible, just kind of pacing, and an ogre. All of them just kind of. I mean, the cultists are more like kind of lounging, and the ogre is pacing back and forth. You also, I mean, that's what you could see like right up in front of you, but it's very large. You know, you can't see the other side. You can't see the top. You notice, like, I'd say you would see the first archer, but you know, safe to assume there's more than that.
Well, yeah, you said Isla saw at least 9 or 10.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do we think? Some misdirection?
What do you have in mind?
We got as far as misdirection. Inspiring, I know.
Well, I've got a stick.
You're pretty good
Just
with
kinda
it.
Shrugs. If you need me to cause a scene, I don't know if they have archers, but it's less of a problem for me.
Gosh, you said we saw the one archer. Is that right?
Yeah, I'd say you see the first archer.
And do we see the other cultist that's on the ground level, like up a little bit farther up the river?
Like at the top of the map. Well,
Yeah,
for the
you mean
stream.
like the three that you
Yes.
see? Like there's two on the other side of the stream, and the ogre.
Yes. Do
I
we
see
see all
you-
three of those?
Yeah, I'd say you see all three of those, and you see the other one that's up further, kind of walking along this path. And I should also say that this spire there's a path all around it, just kind of circles it. It's just a ramp that goes up it. does not look like it's up to OSHA standards. You know, that might not be the, it might be a little too steep in certain parts. But there's one of these men is kind of walking along it. You'd venture to guess that there's more of them doing that same thing at different points.
I mean, if you want me to try to sneak, I might be able to get around that single one that's kind of just a little bit more by himself. And I might be able to take him out before they even realize anything. And granted, if I'm unsuccessful, that makes them all look that direction, and then you guys could go in. If I am successful, then I can just see if I can move up and also maybe take one of these out as well. Or at least try.
It sounds as good of a plan as there is. And I'll just be watching. Just takes his bow out.
Before we all leave, let me just give all three of you aid. So Melly's gonna cast aid on the three of them. We're doing it at 3rd level, so you guys get 10 additional points. And these are like real hit points, so you can be healed up to those afterwards. And then Melly's also gonna go ahead and cast mage armor on herself.
Aid is great.
Very nice move.
Yep, gonna do that before everybody scatters away into the wind.
You could stay near me, I can bless you.
Alright, so Mac is gonna try to kind of just like go across here, and then he's gonna try to continue his way up to this bank right here to try to cross up here.
Okay. And
So I don't know when and where you
and
want me
then
to
what-
roll and whatnot.
what's your end goal?
So my end goal is to sweep around, come back, and try to attack this person without anyone realizing that I'm there.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that you could go off map as like preparation to get to here. And then that's just where you could start off. You know what I mean? So you're not like trying to cross the cleared out road and like everything like that.
Right.
And did anyone else have like preparation things that they would like to do that are similar to put themselves in some sort of position before stuff might go down?
I do think Echo would like to try to slink his way over to the west over here to where it looks like there's a spot that he could... Basically, he's trying to set himself up like arched and ready to go so he could run 10 feet and probably jump right over this little bit of water here.
Okay.
To get across to the other side where this ogre may be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no problem. As you get closer, you notice like this. I'd say actually, all of you, as you get to even just kind of like close to the stream and close to the spire, there's just this horrible odor that you smell. It's like you can't even describe it. It's not like anything that you've smelt before. Maybe maybe there was something similar when you were in like the hag's hut and she had her whole little thing going on in there. But realistically, it's just this horrible thing that you smell, and you can't pin like exactly what it is.
After seeing Echo and Mac kind of branch out like that, I think Vael would just look at Melly and say, "It might be best if we kind of stay in the back and in the middle a little. I'm thinking we can potentially support either of them if the need should arise. What do you think?"
I think that's a good idea. I'm a little nervous.
I am too.
Melly will smile at him, and then just kind of nod her head and be watching in either direction.
Vael will nod and do the same.
Okay. So everybody is in the position that they would like to be.
I think Vael might be more over on this, kind of using this tree,
Okay.
just in case somebody does come down this road. He might be able to intercept, but I think that's what he's thinking.
Okay. And also before we go any further, I just want to say that, and I did post the link in chat as well, but this map specifically is called the Grand Spire. It's from CZRPG. They have a Patreon, which I have shared, and yeah, they have some really cool stuff on there, so you should check it out. So, with that out of the way, you all should just roll initiative just to get that out of the way.
15 for Vael.
15 for Mac.
I get to re-roll these.
Oh, we haven't had one of those in a while.
It's a 21.
Yeah, baby.
Melly got an 8. It's on par for how we've been doing tonight. Solid 8.
Just saving him for when combat happens. That's it.
I know, I'm
Oh,
worried because I've had so many high rolls tonight. I'm just like, when's it gonna end? Like, it can't last
Yep.
forever. I'm gonna start rolling like 3s and 4s for combat.
You are muted.
I'm sure you'll be fine. And then I also said, whoa, 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 because my screen got all weird. It still kind of is weird. I need more monitors.
Nice. I'm not
I need
gonna lie.
like 3 more monitors. That's what I need. All right. So, Echo, you won initiative. So, I mean,
Sadly, I will not be doing anything with that because Echo is basically waiting on the signal, quote unquote. He's waiting for like something.
okay.
And I can't really, I can hold an action, but I can't hold movement and an action and everything else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I will say that Echo will take the dodge action.
Very Nice. I do
He's
need
just-
I do need stealth checks from everyone. That's one thing that I forgot to ask for.
Okay. 23.
19.
12.
Jake. Okay.
Not terrible because he has this +7, but
It's-
still.
It's loud. It's loud and it's
Yeah.
dark.
We also didn't move much.
Well,
So,
I mean, even just getting to the points where you're at, like, are
fair enough.
I'm excited. I got a 19.
all right. Nice.
Finally.
Okay. All right. So that will bring us. Realistically, it'll bring us to Mac.
All right. And then I'm going to cross the river. Is that considered difficult terrain?
It's pretty. It's pretty like. It's not steep like at all. So I'd say no in general, but if you're trying to be quiet, then yes, because if you're trying to be quiet, you're gonna have to move a lot differently and a lot slower trying to get through it.
I'm gonna have to use my bonus action anyway to get to where I want to. So I'm gonna use my bonus action, which will trigger for dashing, which will trigger mobility, which means I guess I won't take disadvantage for the. Which either way, from where I'm gonna stop, it's gonna be fine. Okay, so at this point right here, I would stop and apply poison to my knife with my action, and then I would end my turn kind of using that tree for additional cover. Or I don't know if it's a tree or a shrub, but either way I figure I could use that to kind of like hide behind, and then I would end my turn. Since we are in turn based for everyone at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. So Vael, you go next.
All right. I think Vael is trying his best to keep an eye on the person that Mac is supposed to take out, but also the ogre. But other than that, he's just like, I would ready an attack action, but I don't even know like on who. he's just I'm ready, like one of those kind of things. So
Sure.
or hiding it, whatever you want to, however you want to interpret stuff.
Yeah, no problem. Yes, I mean if you're watching the ogre, it's like it's been pacing back and forth the whole time that you've been around in this area. So now it does appear to be moving, this way, kind of up.
Actually,
To go ahead.
if it's moving that direction, Vel would take out his copper wire and cast message to Mac, which is a whisper that only he can hear, and says, "The ogre is headed your direction. You may want to wait a moment. You can reply to this message." There's no need. I'm just saying.
He would just say, "Thank you."
What's the distance of that again?
120?
Nice. Very nice.
It's a good one. And I guess that would be it for Vael. And so since that was his action, he wouldn't have a readied action.
Sure. Mac, what I will say that you see, kind of as you get closer to where everything is, you notice that there's some dead bodies on the ground.
Does that seem like that's where the smell is coming from, or does it seem like that's just everywhere?
Oddly enough, it is not what the smell is coming from. We're going to use yield ampersand.
And I don't know how well I can see them. So if you can't answer this or whatnot, or Mac wouldn't know, that's fine. Does it look like it was from a fight, or if it was like a ritualistic type of thing with like their, throat slit kind of a thing, or does it look more of like fight being killed?
I'd say it's kind of hard to say
Okay.
from that. It like there's a lot in between you and that, but I do think you would notice it. Maybe not enough to get like an autopsy or anything like that, but you definitely see that there are some bodies there.
Okay.
Millie.
Oh boy. Melly rolled okay on her stealth. So I think she's just gonna. She doesn't want to get too close. So are these like trees or shrubs? Like, can she get okay cover and still like see? Kind of, and be where she is?
So in that spot, you kind of have to zoom in to see it, but there's ruins like all around this area. So like it looks like hard to say what might have been here before. Like all this stuff around it is like very very old. There's some remnants of like some kind of like there might have been nice like cobblestone paths at some point around here. Obviously there's the bridge that I mentioned before that is now just broken down and useless. But in front of you in that spot, there are kind of ruins there. So if you were still behind that little tree shrub thing, I don't think you would really be able to see.
Okay.
Unless you moved like to your left or like right up against the rubble like directly in front of you.
So I want to be able to see them, but I don't want them to see me.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess is the dilemma. So if she's there in that spot, can she see anything or still no? Is that still like too far away?
I'd say in that spot you'd be able to see better.
Okay, so she is gonna go there and try and stay, stealthy. And then she's gonna hold a ray of frost in case anything goes down. So like if Mac's cover gets blown or something, then she wants to shoot the ray of frost. And it's 60 feet, so she should, from that spot, I think, have just enough distance to hit somebody.
Yeah,
Okay,
the ogre's about 40 feet away.
And is that a what does that count as? Is that a cantrip or a leveled or? I think
Yeah, it's a
right?
cantrip.
Okay. Just ranged spell attack. Okay.
But only if like things start to go sideways. Like she doesn't want to send it off unless like Mac is in danger. Because she doesn't want to blow his cover.
Sure. The only thing I would tell you is I'd say the ogre has like half cover from that, just because there's a lot of stuff in between you and him.
It's okay.
Just so you know beforehand. Okay.
I appreciate it. All right. Yep. This is the end of her turn.
That brings us to Echo.
Sorry, I had some technical difficulties. I don't know if Echo's really gonna change anything. Because he doesn't really see a reason to try to get over that. Well, no, there's no like good way for him to move across there. I think Echo might be getting maybe a little fidgety, but is gonna stick with his gut and just hang tight where he is. And I'll take the dodge action again.
All right. I believe that brings us to Mr. Mac. So, Mac, what would you like to do?
First, can I tell if the ogre has moved any further towards that?
Yeah, you can tell. He's moved, like, he's not, like, right up, right up against you, but he's definitely moving toward you in that direction.
And is the ogre, like, can the other cultist and the ogre see each other well? Like, is their line of vision pretty good? Like, would the ogre be able to see the other cultist at the moment?
Yeah, I'd say yes, it could see the other cultist at the moment.
Then I'm gonna sit here and do nothing.
All right.
I guess I'll take the dodge action.
Just, you're basically attempting to just wait until the ogre, like, goes up and then, like, back down.
Yeah, or turns back around and starts to head. Like, I don't know how far the ogre's planning on going, but that's kind of
Okay.
what I'm waiting for. At least for him to turn his back, even if it's just like, even if he doesn't start walking the other way, if he like turns around and Matt can go, especially if as long as the cultist isn't looking directly in Mac's view either. I don't know exactly which way the cultist is looking currently, or if he's moving around, or if he's sitting or leaning against something or whatnot.
Okay. Everyone is pretty much just waiting for Mac to do something before. All right. So we're going to then say that however many turns pass, that amount of turns pass, the ogre basically walks up to this point, turns around, and he's starting to head down the other direction. Then, Mac, it is your turn.
At that point,
Yeah.
I am going to sneak up actually on this cultist.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we're not gonna do any annoying stuff with more stealth checks and stuff. You are already hidden, so you continue to be hidden. Sneaking up on the cultist.
And I am going to try to slash his throat.
All right.
Basically,
Roll
I'm
your
just going to
damage.
try to like come up behind him is what I'm going for and grab and, kind of like shh. And then put him on the ground and just kind of like have his head forward a little bit if I succeed. And can do enough damage.
Okay. Yeah. Roll your attack with advantage.
That is a dirty 20.
Yeah, that's a hit. Roll double damage. Is it double? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're doubling the dice because that's an assassinate.
Yes.
Okay.
So much damage. It's gonna be great.
All right, this is going to take just a second here. That is 42 damage.
42 damage. Yeah. How did you want this to look like? What did you want it to look like?
So basically, I just kind of like come up behind him, grab his mouth to keep him quiet, slit his throat, and then I just kind of like sit him against that like little wall right there, and then just kind of like put his head down, so it more of looks like he kind of just like fell asleep there,
Okay.
as opposed to like being dead lying there.
Sure. Yeah, no, you're definitely able to do that. You are kind of in the open now, so
If I haven't been seen, I will take my bonus action and try to like hide behind this like tree bush thing that's right here.
sure, roll a stealth check.
That is a 23.
Yeah, you feel pretty well hidden.
And that will end my turn.
Very nice. That brings us to Vael.
If there's no indication that anything is anything has been alerted, he just has he's just looking at the ogre now. Really, I think that's kind of it. I think that's kind of where he's at. He's just gonna have an attack action readied, probably at the ogre if the crap hits the fan.
Now, just give me a little bit more, I guess, of a definition of if the crap hits the fan. Like, is that
Fair enough.
if
Yes.
if Mac like is seen, if someone is seen, or if Mac attacks it and that attack doesn't kill it? Like, what do you?
I think because a bow has the potential to be very quiet, that would be his trigger too. But like if he looks like he's seen or he attacks a target, that doesn't seem to die.
Okay.
Either one. Yeah.
Right. Izzy.
I think Melly is gonna do probably the same thing that Vail is doing, not to totally steal what Jake just did, but yeah, she's just wants to back Mac up. I think she's probably also paying closer attention to the ogre since it's such a big creature. Probably a little bit more difficult to take down with just one hit, but I wouldn't put it past Mac to be able to do that. So yeah, just holding that attack action, staying quiet where she is. And I end my turn.
Okay. That brings us back to the top, which is Echo. As you
Echo puts in his AirPods and keeps us vibing out. No, he's just like keeping an eye in that direction and really focusing on like just listening for any sound that would like trigger him to get going. Again, since I can't really like hold anything that makes any sense, just gonna take the attack action, and if the attack action, I'm gonna take the dodge action and just wait for the opportune moment.
very nice. Okay. So I guess that brings us back to Mac, as the ogre will kind of take a couple more steps back this way, and Mac. You might be muted.
Oh, yeah, I was. Alright, I'm gonna try to take down the ogre. Let's see how much this beefy boy's got. If I can. I am actually gonna go up to him and try to attack him.
All right, now you are still hidden, so you could still roll with advantage. And if you hit, it's gonna be a big one, and poison still applies to you.
That is a 24 to hit.
24 to hit. Mac, that hits. So, just as a reminder for folks who may have forgotten what that means from a couple minutes ago, double your regular damage dice, double your sneak attack damage dice.
That is 46 damage. Oh no, wait, hold on. 50. I forgot. I don't have enough dice for that. I have to re-roll one of them.
Oh,
and I almost forgot.
Did you double the poison damage as well?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
The only thing I didn't double was the plus on my dagger. I only added that once, the +5.
Okay. All right. So as you you run, sneak up behind him, and just kind of bury the dagger deep in the ogre's back, it makes this and as well, I don't remember the band who sings it, but as that one band who sings that one song says, the ogre is still alive, but it's barely breathing. And we're gonna get into combat.
Ooh.
So
Zev.
I believe that triggers. Well, no, Mac, you have the rest of your turn, and then we'll trigger those other things.
Then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of like stab, realize that he's still up, and I'm gonna dash back behind this, and I'm gonna take the hide action again behind
Okay.
this tree.
Sure. Roll. Okay, just roll stealth.
That is a 24.
24. You feel pretty hidden. I mean, the ogre knows where that attack came from, but in your spot, you feel like you're in a pretty good spot. Now with that being done, Vael, you could roll your attack.
Okay. Yeah, just a regular attack. That's fine. Actually, do I get advantage for being hidden?
Yes, you
Okay.
do.
All right. So, well, it's just 17 plus 10, so that's a hit. I'm sure. 27.
Yes, that's it.
That is 8 magical piercing.
Okay. Yeah, it's still alive, but like really barely breathing now. Melly, you can roll your attack with I forget what it was called, the frost thing.
Ray of Frost.
Ray of Frost, thank you.
Okay. 22 to hit.
That's a hit.
Okay. So Melly specifically picked Ray of Frost because she kind of wanted to try and make it look like a lightning bolt if she could, just like blue instead of white to try and blend in with the situation that's going on right now.
Sure.
And these just gotta make sure. Yep, those are D8s. Get this guy out of there. Okay, not bad. 12 points of damage.
Ellie, what does it look like as your blue ray of frost goes through and kills this ogre? How would you like to do this?
So she shoots the ray of frost out, which instead of like going in a straight line, is gonna kind of like zigzag a little bit. And I don't know if you've ever seen someone who's been struck by lightning. They have like these weird like patterns on their skin. Instead of it being like charred mark, it's gonna be like frost that like makes that pattern on him.
All right. Yeah. So he just kind of like slows, and you see that pattern on him, which like tends to like enter from one point, and then like it's like this crazy zigzag until it escapes, and the ogre ever so slowly falls to the ground with a loud thud. And let's see, if that all happened at max initiative, then who goes next? Let me just find out very quickly. Yeah, for right now, that's actually going to bring us to Vael for the rest of your turn. And one of my friends from high school got struck by lightning. Fun fact.
Oh my.
She's okay. She's fine.
Okay.
She used to every time I saw her after that, she wore like lightning bolt earrings and stuff, and it was like a thing.
Okay. Anyways. I think I'm just looking to see. I mean, that was a pretty visual effect, right?
Yeah.
And I can see the archer up on the ridge. Just confirming.
Yes, you can see the archer up on the ridge.
I'm going for that. I'll make an attack action. Would I still be considered hidden?
I would say probably not. Because
Okay.
that's how it works in D&D, right? You do one thing and suddenly you're not hidden anymore.
I mean, that's fair. But yeah, I'll attack the archer on the ridge.
Okay. Yeah, roll your attack, kind
okay.
sir.
14 plus 10 is a 24 to hit.
That is a hit.
That is max damage for 13 magical piercing.
Okay. The warrior is they're still up. But that just like
Second attack.
just kind of like smacks into it.
That's a 15 to hit.
15 to hit actually misses.
All right.
Oh, wait a second. Yeah, no, 15 to hit just misses. So your first one just, right in. Second one goes past.
Vael is then going to dart across the road. Go 5, 10, 15, 20. And is this up just above him? Is that a tree? Can he like grab cover behind the tree?
Yeah.
Okay, so then he's just gonna kind of go on this point here. And
I mean, it's probably not going to be like total cover, but like 3/4.
yeah, okay. Just something to give him a little defensive bonus if needed.
Yeah.
And because he's not trying to be hidden. Not that he has the hide action or anything like that, but
Mm-hmm.
yep. And realize that should have been that. But anyways, he's gonna be done.
Okay. All right. So let's have Melly. It is your turn.
Right. Uh. 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I thought I knew what I wanted to do, and now I'm not so sure.
It's quite all right.
So, as established on Vael's turn, they know where Melly is, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you kind of put on a show with the way you made that attack.
I was just trying to make it make sense.
Well, yeah. But, I mean,
I know, I get it.
you know,
I understand. Okay. All right. I guess we're gonna try and get a little bit of cover. So if she moves back into the trees, will she have a little bit more cover from, like, if she's there, will she have a little bit more cover, like the plus to her AC?
yeah,
In that
I'd
spot?
say, yeah, anything that you're behind, for the most part, you're gonna have like 3/4 cover. For the most
Okay,
part.
and then 5, 10, 20. Okay. Sorry, there's one thing I wanted to look at quickly. Okay. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, I don't know what to do. All right, so she moved. She's gonna hold another action. You know what? No, everyone knows where she is. I guess she'll just go ahead and do another Ray of Frost with the same lightning-esque flavor. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 on that. Can she see that guy though? That's like right across the water from
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, you could see him.
All right, so let's just try and go ahead and hit that guy.
Sure. Roll an attack.
That's a 12.
12.
Mm-hmm.
12. Where is it? Please hold. I believe that hits. Holy cow.
Josh and his
where is
30
it?
tabs open because
It's
he had
tough.
life though.
It's yeah. Yes, that hits. Sorry.
Oh, I was not expecting that to hit. All right, here we go, buddy. $10 points.
10 points?
10 point to lose.
How would you like to do that?
So let's just go ahead and say, like, he gets struck in the shoulder and it, like, freezes him and then he falls over and, like, cracks a little.
Okay. I love it.
And then that was actually a cantrip. So, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna do, oh wait, that was a cantrip. as an action, and then I'm gonna do Quickened. Sorry, there's many things that I want to do. And I'm gonna cast Bless on myself and Vael, because we're the only people in range. So the two of us are blessed now, which is interesting. And then I end my turn.
I will never miss again.
Okay. All right. That will bring us to back to the top of initiative. So we're gonna have some archers roll some dice. As the first one who Vael attacked is gonna try to make an attack against him. Well, that was a natural 20.
Yes, that hits.
I think for some reason, I have a feeling, even with your cover, that will hit.
Well, even if, I mean, with cover, he's got a 21.
Yeah.
And I could shield it up to 26, but it won't matter because it's a hit anyways.
It's going to be 12 damage.
Okay. Thank you, Aid.
Yeah, right? That's just like all... Like, it doesn't matter. It is also going to use... You kind of, like, if you're looking at this person, they kind of, like... They have this determined look on their face, and it... I don't know, it just looks like while your arrow that shot them might have taken, hurt them pretty well, they kind of use their resolve to keep going. Alright. There's going to be another one is going to make an attack on Miss Melly. And that's a natural 1, so that's just going to kind of like... just like totally sail all the way by. It's not going to matter at all. Echo is hidden, I believe, so nobody's going to try to do anything to Echo. Another one will make an attack on Jake. That is a 15 to hit, which I'm sure misses.
Yeah, that's a miss without cover.
Okay, so that misses. Which will bring us to the next person, which you kind of look and you see the sky begin to just like swirl even more than it was, and the darkness kind of grows greater, and there's just this crack that you hear, and with that, I think Izzy, roll a d4. And Jake, odd or even?
Oh, God. Odd rhymes with what I just said. So odd.
It's a 1.
Okay.
Oh. Bye, Vael.
So, you hear this crack in the sky, and this bolt of just this purple lightning comes down and it's going for Vael. Make a dex save.
Okay, that's a 21. So
Did you
I'd
add
like.
bless?
No, I didn't. That's a good call. That makes it a 24.
Okay, 24? Alright. So that is a save. Which means you are going to take... Oh, that's not the right die. Well, that still kind of works, though. Alright, so you will take 7 points of damage as
Okay.
lightning just strikes you from the sky.
Yeah, I'm going to use absorb elements to have that and supercharge my next attack.
Nice, very
So-
nice. I love that, actually.
Thank Michael and our player chat. So that has it down to 3.
Well,
It's
can
more-
we just
more-
get what that looks like, though?
Yeah, it's more about the offense than it is the defense here. So this like lightning comes to strike, and I think Vael he just like looks up and almost has like a little bit of a slight smirk on his face. It just kind of just wraps his hand in a whirling motion, and a silver light just kind of engulfs some of the flame as it comes towards him, and it weakens it. But he kind of, I feel like his hair kind of has some lightning kind of go through it a little bit, and he just takes out an arrow, and it just looks like it's ready to charge through that for a moment.
Awesome, I love that. So, all right, with that, the next person up will be Echo.
Once he hears all these fun noises start up, Echo just real quick just cracks his neck side to side, and glows a golden light. As a bonus action, I will cast Step of the Wind. Not cast, but I'll use Step of the Wind by spending a key point, which allows me to dash as a bonus action and double my jump distance for this turn. So, I would assume Echo is able to clear this thin section of the river. He could jump 18 feet now after running 10 feet. So,
Yeah.
So he makes a wide jump. You might even hear like the reverse impact of that, like as his feet like dig into the ground to make that jump. It's just like weirdly strong. He jumps across the river. So we're at 5, 10, 15, 20. 25, 30, 35, 40. Oh boy, it's kind of a weird terrain to move around. 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. And he's basically trying to duck between these two, like in the space between these buildings over here where I had him end up. Although I can't actually, I haven't used my action, so I'm also gonna use my action to dash and move another 40 feet.
Okay, you passed by another pile of bodies, by the way, as you
Okay. That's definitely not great. I don't know if he would have like really like put much thought into it more than just we'll see if that, you know, backfires. But he's gonna start moving up. I assume that this is the way up the path.
this
up the
is in
mountain here.
fact the way.
Okay. So that's 5, 10, 15. Oh boy, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Yeah. I think that's it. That's where Echo's gonna. That's where he's gonna have to stop.
Okay. So after Echo, you hear like I mean, it's not even so much that you hear anything, but like the dark above you all just kind of like it's even more agitated now, and it's moving, and there's like lightning like shooting out of it, and the smell just gets even worse. And with that, the bodies that were there begin to
Freaking do it!
rise up. um, as these zombies just begin to rise from just the pile of nasties that were there. But the thing that's really probably the most concerning is our ogre friend also just rises up as a zombie as well. And I think that's a perfect place to end this session at. And we'll pick up from there next week.
Oh! It is after 10.
It is after 10. So, I mean, yeah, you have the group doing their best, attacking this spire. All of the enemies that you've killed and then some just came back. And we're going to have to find out. We're going to have to find out what happens next time. So that was fun. Everybody, thank you for hanging out on JnJ Tabletop, twitch.tv/JnJ Tabletop. First of many streams over here. It's exciting to have this home. So, this is your first time here. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you had fun. You can catch up on the early episodes over at youtube.com/JnJ Tabletop. The most recent ones are over at youtube.com/Rarejaw Roleplay. We have a playlist on our channel, which is obviously JnJ, which will have all the videos on there. So you can just go to that playlist, you'll see everything. If you liked this, please subscribe, follow, like it if you're on a platform that allows that. And, maybe like shoot us a message on the internet and be like, hey, that's cool, just because then we'll feel good about ourselves. So you should totally do that. But you can find all of our things by just using Command JnJ in chat. And just everybody have a great week. We will see you soon. Be kind to each other. And we'll see if the party will be able to survive this one.